I am going to be drawing a 3-view orthographic drawing of this little mini monster truck guy. Now I'm going to be working from this sketch, which I already made, which has all my dimensions. It's going to make things a bit easier for me. First thing I have to do is figure out if it'll fit. So how is it going to fit? Well, it's 12 inches. So let me say I make one box equal 1 inch. Then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. All right, look at that. So now 12 boxes is 12 inches, and it totally fits. It's a 1/4 inch thick, so I'm going to do that right there. So what I've done, man, that's messy, but that's actually okay. What's important to me is that you learn the scale. If you want to use a ruler, it'll look a lot nicer, but I don't have time. Now the scale I've set, I'm going to write it up here. One box is 1 inch. That's not really a proper scale. A proper scale is going to tell me inches to inches. Each box is a 1/4 inch, so the scale is 1/4 inch is 1 inch. Now, taking a look at my sketch again, these wheels are 2 inches down, so I'll come over here, 2 inches down, and 3, 4, and I drew all of those corners at 1.5 inches from the center, meaning that's 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. Come down 2 inches, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. There we go. Now I've got 2 wheels. They're not very round, but I'm not really going to worry about that. What am I going to put in next? Probably the center block, right? It's 4.5 inches wide, and it's centered, so 3 3/4 on either side. So I'm going to have to come in 1, 2, 3 3/4. I'm going to come in 1, 2, 3 3/4. I've written that down here. And it is 3/4 inch thick. So that's going to 3/4 plus 1/4 equals 1. So it comes down to there. And that should be 4 1/4 1/4, 4.5. Again, it's not perfect, but this is okay. I'm teaching you guys, right? You're not experts yet. So then there's this piece of wood that's going to come from the axle to there, also 1/4 inch thick. Same thickness wood throughout. And then there's a hinge if you want to put that in, something like that. All right. There are some suspension bolts. Now suspension bolts look like they're 1/2 inch in, according to that dimension there. So at 1/2 inch, I'm going to have suspension bolts that go, and it looks like they're kind of at an angle, and they come through. Again, 1/2 inch here, and the suspension bolts there, like so. Very good. There is a motor here, a motor. So 1 inch diameter, and I put that at 6 inches right in the center, 6 inches there. So 1 inch diameter motor, that's one box right in the center. I'm not going to include the rubber bands, but you can, not a big deal. And that's pretty much all the detail I needed here. Alright, does it look like it? It pretty much does when I take a look at that car versus this. It's the same shape and everything's in the same kind of space as it is. And that's important because the idea is a scale drawing is the real thing just shrunk down. Using this first drawing, this main view, I'm going to make a top view and a side view. I'm going to use this main view to help. Like I know it's already 12 inches, so I can make a line there, I can make a line there, so I know how big it is. Alright, so it is 3 1/4 wide. There we go, 3 1/4. And I know that it's an extra 1/2 inch, so it's 4 1/4 total to the wheels. The wheels are going to be outside like that, extra 1/2 inch. Very good. The wheels, I know where either edge is from here. One edge is there. The other edge is there. Alright. Same thing, I bring this line up. And I bring the outside of the wheel up. when you look at a wheel from a top and bottom, it's not a round thing. It's a square. Crazy, right? But, you know, look at that wheel. It's a square. Now, I know that these wheels are 1.5 inches thick, according to my dimension right there. So that's a quarter, one, and another quarter, quarter, one, and another quarter. Same on the top, and the same on the bottom. The axles are right here. I'm going to draw them in dark. I don't know why. Probably I shouldn't, but those are the axles right there. Now, looking at this, it might be a little bit off. Like maybe the axles actually stick out a little bit further. Maybe I mismeasured the wheelbase. Maybe I didn't measure the wheelbase. Maybe I should have measured the wheelbase. But for our purposes, I'm going to say that's close enough. I do need the bolts. They're each 1/2 inch in, and it looks like 1 inch up. So I'll go 1/2 inch, 1 inch. So that's supposed to be 3 1/4. So there, and 1/2 inch in, 1 inch up. So those two, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch. So those are my 4 bolts. Those are the suspension bolts coming through the top. I also have a motor. Remember, the motor is right there. We know either edge of it already. It's like that. Looks like I didn't measure the depth of it, so this is a point where I have to be like, oh no! Grab my tape measure. It looks like that motor is 1 inch and a quarter, and then the little pulley sticks out to 1 inch and 5/8. Now, you don't have to be super accurate here, right? And the front edge of the motor aligns there, so it's 1 inch and a quarter for the motor, like that, and then the pulley sticks out another 3/8 of an inch. We'll call it a half, not a big deal. Alright, and there's my little pulley. Actually, it's a V pulley, so it should look more like that. But again, I'm not going to go too hard on you on that. Looks good. Looks like my sketch, I put it on the wrong side. Maybe I just had the car turned around. Any case, it's all set now. Again, if you want to put the rubber bands on, you can. I should probably put these pulleys on. So the pulleys go in here. Alright, now I've got my top view, I've got my side view, I just need my front view. So again, I'm going to use this thing. I know it's 1/4 inch. Draw that across. I know here it's 3 1/4, so 1, 2, 3 1/4. Oh, there's some extra. I can erase that extra. Now, I know these come out an extra 1/2 for the wheels. Extra 1/2 for the wheels. And then they're 1 1/2 inches. Now, I know they go from there to there. Oh, there. So again, this is a useful thing about lining up your drawings, is you can use them to complete your drawing. And they're supposed to be 1 1/2 inches thick. It's supposed to be 1 1/2 inches thick. Alright. Obviously there's an axle that's going to run right through the center of those. I don't know if I marked it as 1/4 inch on there. I happen to know it is. I didn't. Probably should have. Get to that later. That's where the axle is there. This is where it is here. We got these guys sticking down. When you look at it from the front, you're going to have a block that sticks down here. And then you're going to have this guy.
Just wondering if I could steal one of your
quiet
parts
on
machines.
the side.
Sorry.
Yeah, grab any one of them.
No, one of the parts ones.
Yeah,
So-
top left. They're there. Sorry about that. And then we're going to finish by drawing this. They're marked parts. And we got our two pieces here for our suspension. And then those connect here with eyes. Pretty much that's what I need. Now, obviously if I want, I could add on that top part. You don't have to. It's up to you whether you want the paper on top. I'm not going to right now because it's easier to see the structure of it, and that's really just cosmetic. This is what I think in the industry they call a glider. Alright. The car industry, I mean. What remains are dimensions. So I'm going to put all the dimensions on there. Right? That is 1 1/2. And I'll use little arrows to show me where. It kind of doesn't fit, so I'm not going to put the arrows on the inside there. You see how ugly that is? Can't even read it. So I put the 1 1/2 here. Put 2 lines, and I'll put the arrows on the outside so you can read it. Here, it's 3 inches. Arrows will fit on the inside. This little guy is 3/4 of an inch. 3/4. Oh, that little thing is 3/4. That's not a good place to measure 3/4. I'm not sure where I'm going to show 3/4 for that, but I'm going to have to show it somewhere. Let's see. The center of the wheel is 2 inches. I used that in my drawing, so that's important. The diameter of this little thing here, that means diameter, is 1/4 inch. This block is 3 3/4 inches from the end, and it is 4 1/2 inches in length. I'm using these lines and arrows to show me what is going on. This entire thing is 12 inches long, and my motor is 1 inch in diameter. Oops, I forgot the diameter symbol. You can also write DIA. Either is acceptable. That right there is 1/4 inch. Now I haven't written the 1/4 in there because it's too small of a space. You'd never be able to see it. What else do I need on here? I need the width of this entire thing, which I did put up here. There's a fine place for it. From there to there, 3 1/4 inches. However, all the way across the wheels, I'm going to put it here just for reference, is 4 1/4 inches. Obviously, your drawing and your dimensions are going to be different than mine. This motor is at 6 inches. It's right in the center, so I'll put that right here because I can. Oh, and the other one I had it above, but my motor's on the other side in this drawing. I did need to dimension where these guys are. It's kind of hard to see, right? So that is going to be a difficult dimension. Alright, I'm going to put little arrows. I need a sharper pencil for this. It's 1/2 inch. And then the distance here is going to be 1 inch. Anything I forgot? Oh yeah, the thickness of that block, 3/4 of an inch. It's not a good place to put it. I'm going to put it here. Probably not the right place. A draftsman would be angry at me, but there we go. Now we have a scale drawing. Scale 1/4 inch is 1 inch. This is the entire car shrunk down from a full 12 inches to 1/4 of that. So the whole thing is going to be, instead of 12 inches, it's going to be 3 inches long. 1/4 scale drawing.